Welcome to the Student Athlete Spotlight, featuring local high school sports. We'll have candid interviews with coaches, students, and more. So it's playtime.
Fourth year as a head football coach, when I came in, all these seniors were freshmen. So these are my guys, you know what I mean? And they know me to a T. Yeah, exactly. And I know them to a T. You know? I think now we have full support from community, full support from the parents. The kids are bought in and they believe that we can win football games. So that's the key.
This episode is sponsored by Jerry's Seafood, located in Bowie, Maryland.
Here at Student Athlete Spotlight with Leonardtown's head coach, Justin Cunningham. Thanks for being on the show with us, Coach. Great to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Really excited about it.
Appreciate that. Talking about your team and the resiliency they've shown, in that big win at home, the seniors are some. You want to talk about your senior group this year?
Yeah. So we have a great senior group, and I've kind of talked about this recently, but this is my fourth year as a head football coach. When I came in, all these seniors were freshmen. Mm-hmm. So these are my guys, you know what I mean? And they know me to a T. And, yeah, exactly. And I know them to a T. Matt Berry, who starts for us both ways, inside linebacker and tailback. He was all league last year, on offense. Tyreek Wood was a first-team all-conference player, starts at tight end and linebacker for us. Travis Johnson, another senior, starts both ways pretty much for us, was all-league second team last year, defense. Alan Nelson, another kid who plays both ways for us, doesn't come off the field. He's actually the kid who tipped the ball to number 6, one of our juniors who got the pick. He starts both ways for us. Gannon Brooks, who's also a wrestler. He's just a tough kid, man. He starts at guard for us, plays a lot of linebacker for us. There's a couple more. I consider name them all, but
that senior group.
That senior group is really special. They're a great group of kids.
That's great to hear.
They've done a great job of leading by example and vocally for our younger guys. Like our younger guys have a sense of urgency at times because our seniors are on it. Like they understand kind of what needs to be done, and that's a big part of why we won last week. Yeah. That senior leadership, and
so you've been there. Sorry, I'll change it real quick. So you've been there 4 years. What was the turning point for your program? Where the kids said, the off season, I see the difference now. Was it the COVID spring? What was the point where you guys as a program really kind of started to get it?
So it's been really tough. I got hired late. I got hired in 2019, but I didn't really get hired until May. Started working with the kids in June. We had our first season right away. And then May 14th, 2020, COVID hit. They shut us down.
Right.
So we didn't lift weights. We didn't work out together until the following June.
Oh, my gosh.
We played that spring.
Whole year.
Yeah, so we played that spring season.
But you didn't have lifting, though.
We didn't have lifting,
wow.
which was nice, hindsight's always 20/20. A lot of those seniors were sophomores, and they started.
Okay.
So they got a game experience, which was great. But, and then this past fall, I guess 21, we didn't have a weightlifting really full off-season deal. So this was our first full off-season together where we're in the weight room, we're conditioning together, we're training together, and we're building those relationships and bonds that are so important for a football team.
That's the difference.
Exactly. We can't just go and line up and expect to play football. So that was it, man, this past fall.
And that being said, you also have a great, I feel like, support from your community. You guys get a great turnout for home games. Can you talk about the band, the cheerleaders, the AD, the administration?
No question. So
talk about them for me.
Mrs. Mills, Jill Mills, hired me in 2019. She's amazing.
Okay.
She was very supportive of athletics, especially football. Mr. Copsey is now our new principal, who is amazing as well. He used to be the vice principal in charge of athletics, so I worked with him very closely. He's checking on me all the time. He does a great job. He sees a vision. He set up tailgates in the parking lot for games
fantastic.
and stuff.
That's great. Is that for every home game then? For the fans?
Yeah. So that's something new that they started doing.
So the community can come out for that.
So 5
Let's
o'clock.
Get them out there. Let's go.
Coming out, and doing the tailgate. People bringing their own burgers and dogs and playing music and playing cornhole and doing all that fun stuff.
That's great.
Yeah. So I don't see that obviously.
No, obviously.
We're getting ready for a game, but it's cool. And then Mr. Henderson, who's our AD. honestly, he's amazing. He supports us, as much as he can. Anytime we need something, he's there. I've seen a change. I was telling my wife this the other day. In the staff now, like, I think they're seeing, wow, you know what? It's kind of nice if the football team can be successful. You know what I mean? Because all the other sports have been successful at Leonardtown. Why can't football be? There's no excuse not to be.
Right.
So that's been nice. The students are amazing. We've had great turnouts for our first two.
And they always have like a theme, right?
There's a theme. So the first game was a blackout. We wore our black uniforms, and then, which was
That's
cool.
cool. You match up with the students.
Yeah. And then last week was the neon out or whatever.
Neon?
So, yeah.
Did you wear neon, Coach?
Coach, I didn't wear neon. No joke. One of my kids said, he goes, Coach, we should raise money. Let's get neon uniforms for next year.
That's awful.
I said, quote.
We're Oregon play, I
said, we're never doing that.
I can hardly watch the screen.
I said, yeah, exactly. But the kid's been great. And I'll tell you, man, our parents have been really supportive as well.
That's great to hear.
Like, we couldn't do what we're doing right now without our parents' support.
You have a great booster club.
We have a great booster club. Yep. And they're very supportive, and they make my life easier. I tell you that. You know what I mean? Because as a head coach, you're going a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
But when you have people that can help you out and kind of take some of that weight off, it definitely helps. So the support, like you said, has been great, and it's only gotten better, as we've gotten more involved and more successful.
Gotcha. So let's go a little different route. Talk about, every coach has nicknames for their players.
Okay.
Yep. So I want to know, what's the best nickname at Leonardtown right now in the football program? Who has the best nickname?
So there's probably a couple.
You can give us a couple.
I did not give this nickname. But
Okay.
Alan Nelson, number 2, he starts for us at safety and our Z receiver. His nickname was Wee Wee.
Wee Wee?
Wee Wee. So I still haven't gotten the full story behind it.
But it's always been Wee Wee.
He's from a big family, okay, the Nelson family, who's a great family.
Big Southern Maryland family?
Yeah, big Southern Maryland family.
7th District?
Yes, yeah, I believe so. They're very supportive of us.
Okay.
Mom and dad, and Grace was one of my managers. She graduated. All the boys. So there's 4 Nelson boys right now at Leonardtown. 1 in each grade.
What?
Yeah.
They're all like the same family, not like cousins.
No, same family.
They're brothers.
Yeah,
Wow.
they're brothers. So, anyways, they all have nicknames. The dad's nickname is Noodles.
Noodles?
Yep. So that's another nickname for you. But they all have nicknames. I don't know why he's Wee Wee,
That's
but
great.
we call him Wee Wee. So when I get pissed off, sometimes I'm yelling.
It's hard to yell.
Wee.
It's hard to yell Wee Wee when you're mad.
It is. So I mess it up sometimes.
That's great.
But that's one that definitely stands out the most. Great kid, great family.
So talking about your school, Leonardtown High School, is there anything that makes you guys unique? Like hey, this makes us special. The Raiders, right? Like, what is something you guys kind of, put yourself behind, or is there something like that?
Well, I think for us, we've had to change football-wise some of the culture, just because. No knock to anyone before us. It just hasn't been. We haven't been successful, but I think now we have full support from community, full support from the parents. The kids are bought in and they believe that we can win football games. So that's the key. Like, they have an understanding that any Friday night, if we line up, we play
anybody.
hard, we execute, we do our job. Like, we play for each other, we can beat anyone. And that's something, whether we had the talent or not to do it before, I don't think we had that understanding. So I think we proved last Friday night that the kids at least believe that we can do it. Now the thing is, I told the kids today, I said, look, you guys can think you're the best team at SMAC, you can think you're the worst team at SMAC, or whatever the case may be. None of that matters. You have to prove it. You have to do.
Every Friday night?
Yeah, exactly. Like, talking about it is one thing. You have to do it.
So, Coach, you've been doing this a long time, and you've made a great effect on so many young men and people around you. What drives you in coaching? Obviously you love it.
Yeah.
And coaching is it's a lifestyle, right? You don't decide to do it for halftime. You know what I mean? It's not a part-time job.
Exactly.
You're 24/7 on your phone. You got to make time for your family. You got to figure all that out. But talk about that a little bit. What drives you?
Yeah, I mean, I love being able to provide a positive influence on people, whether it's my kids, my coaches, our staff, my friends, my family. Like, if I can provide a positive impact, and then I've done my job for that day. And it's not easy. Like my wife, Emily, she is amazing.
She's a saint.
She's a saint. She puts up with my mess. She puts up with me being, for lack of a better term, married to football at times. But without that support, I wouldn't be able to do it. But that's why, and I said it earlier, like, you see these kids grow, just like I've watched my seniors grow from freshmen, and you see the change. And you know that a lot of that change is maybe not directly from you, but maybe from your staff members or from stuff that we've done that's going to make them a better person down the road.
Absolutely.
And that's something I always talk to my guys about. Like, I don't think we say it enough, but, like, be a good person, do the right thing. And
that's so true.
That's it. Just like, how hard is it?
Yeah.
It's the easiest thing to do. Yeah. It's much harder to choose to do the wrong thing. I think. I mean, we can argue about it, but, like, I think it's easy just to do your job, right? Do your homework. Is it fun? No, right? Behave in class. Like, raise your hand. Participate. I mean, is it uncomfortable at times? Sure, but it's a part of life. Right. When you get to be an adult and you get a job when you're 26, if you're not showing up on time, you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you're going to get fired.
Yeah.
So,
that's what we're getting ready for.
Exactly. So,
what else is interesting is I think as a coach, you don't realize the impact you have on the student. Because you're also in the classroom, right? And you have some students during the day that don't play sports.
Correct.
And your impact on them sometimes can be even more magnified than your actual student athletes.
No question. Yeah. I had a great experience with that when I was at DeMatha for a number of years. And I wasn't necessarily in the classroom, but I built a lot of relationships with kids that weren't football players necessarily. And I'm starting to do that now more at Leonardtown because I'm kind of provided that opportunity, and
and you're a marked guy. Everybody knows the football coach.
Oh, I know, exactly. But that's just as fulfilling as with our kids.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
it is. That's awesome.
Yeah, but you're right. Everyone, for good or bad, everyone knows a football coach. So.
Well, Coach, thanks so much for being on the Student Athlete Spotlight. We're going to continue to build this, get some student athletes on here, some more coaches from Leonardtown High School. But again, thank you so much, and good luck the rest of the season.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
all right,
awesome.
buddy.